Good afternoon, people. Hey, we're recording. Sorry, I apologize for those of you who are not used to our kids. They crazy. Uh, let's start with the first one. What is it? Plus what? All right, so I got all these. 8/10? All right, so I got all these weird numbers just to get you to do the problem. I don't care how pretty it looks. I just want to make it a little difficult. Yes. We'll work on that. I'll show you in a minute. So we know that the first thing is to multiply the denominators, right? Right here. And I get 140, correct? And then the second thing is to multiply the numerator times the denominator. So I get 110, correct? Then you transfer the sign. And then the third thing is to multiply the denominator times the numerator. And I get what? 112. Now, all that really matters is this little bubble right here. Everything else stays basically the same, right? In addition and subtraction. So we move that 140 over here, and when you add that, what do you get? 222. Now, here's the big question. A lot of people in my first period did not simplify. You need to simplify. Every time that you get one of those things, you want to give me the answer in the simplest form. That means you simplified it until you had nothing, no more you could do with it. So when you simplify, what do you get? And then 70 goes into 111 one time, and what do you have left? 41 over 70, right? This should be your final answer. Yes. You put 1 over what? Why? Do you know what you did wrong? Okay, good. If they didn't simplify this time, I'll count it right. But just moving forward, understand that you have to simplify it and you have to convert it into a mixed number if you have an improper fraction. Do we understand that? Good. Number 2. What was it? All right, and we're going by the same rules again. The first thing you do is you multiply the denominators. And what do you get here? And then you multiply the numerator times the denominator. What do you get? 207. You transfer the negative sign or the subtraction sign. It's the same thing. Don't forget that. And then the third thing is to multiply the denominator times the numerator, right? What do you get? 192. And now, again, all that matters is whatever is in this bubble, you transfer this guy to this side, and then you worry about subtracting 192 from 207, and what do you get? 15. And you can't simplify that. If you divide that by 3, you get 5 over what? 72. And that cannot be simplified anymore, so that will be your answer. Again, if you did not simplify this time, count it right. But for the future, I need you to simplify it. Always to the smallest, simplest terms. The next one. Hello? Now, this one has a very simple rule, and it is to multiply across. That's why I put the little multiply and put an arrow, right? That means you just multiply these two and you get 72, right? You multiply these two and what do you get? What? 120. And I can simplify that to 36 over 60. And then again to 15. What? 13. No. Isn't it 18 over 30? 18 over 30, and then 9 over 15, and then 3 over 5. So I want you to try something in your calculators very quickly. That's why I gave you this one, because it has a lot of simplification. You don't know which one is where you should stop. Although you should keep going, but in case you don't know or you think it's too much, I want you to plug in 72 divided by 120. Press enter and it should give you the fraction in the smallest terms. If it gives you a decimal point, then all you have to do is click on menu, number, approximate to fraction, and that should give you the smallest fraction. Huh? Did you get a decimal? 72 over divided by 120. I want you to get used to the idea, you should know by now, that the fraction is a division. It's 72 divided by 120. That's what it means. So follow my instructions. Menu, number, and approximate to fraction. Did anybody not get this? If you did not get this, raise your hand. Cool, everyone. I want you to use that later on. Whenever you have a fraction like that and you don't want to do all those simplifications, and you know that it's you don't have enough time for that test, just do that. Yes. Well, yeah, sometimes, but whenever you have these kind of fractions, that's pretty tough. It takes you a little longer to do it. And I'm just doing that so you can verify that you did it correctly, because whenever you have a simplification that long, there is a lot of room for mistakes. So just to verify that you did it correctly. All right, what's the next one? What? 4 over 7. And this one has two ways that you can do it. The first one is KCF, and the second one is inside over outside, right? So let's do keep change flip first. KCF, that means you keep the first fraction, which is 8 over 12. You change the next sign to a multiplication, and you flip this one to 7 over 4. This makes it easier because all you have to do is multiply across, right? So that will be 57, no, 6. What do you get bottom? 48. And you can simplify this right now to what? Is it 28 over something? Over 24? And I can simplify that to 14, no. Yeah, 14. Is it 16? 14 over 12, right? Which is 7 over 6. And now I can convert that improper fraction into a mixed number of 1 and 1/6, right? This should be your final answer. It is important for you to simplify from the very beginning before you convert into a mixed number. That way you already end up with the smallest form that you can possibly get. Do we have any questions? The other one is outside over inside, and I don't know why I put inside over outside. That's wrong. I did? But it was outside over inside, like the little guy. The little monito. Okay, so we're going to have 8 over 12. What am I doing? 8 over 12 divided by 4 over 7, right? And it says outside over inside, so we're going to multiply the outsides, and that gives me 56. And then multiply the insides, and I get 48. And that can be simplified all the way to that, which is 7 over 6, which is 1 and 1/6. It's the same thing. Some kids prefer the second option. Other kids don't. It doesn't matter. I want you to use the one that you like the most. Not because you just like it, but because you're really good at it. Pick the one that you're most proficient at, and use that one. Sometimes you'll notice as we do the other problems that the second one is more useful because it ends up being in that format. Whenever you do an inverse operation, that usually ends up being that way. All right, the next one. What was it? What? 6 over 8. And this is a subtraction, right? That might probably end up with a negative number because the second one is bigger. So again, I'm not going to write down the rules. We already know that you're supposed to multiply these two, and you get 56. You multiply this, and you get 32. Move over the sign, and that gives me 42, right? So we end up with negative 10. If we basically have 32 girls and 42 boys, right? That means 10 boys are left alone. 56, and you can simplify that to what? Nothing? Negative 5 over 28, right? Is it 28? Yes, 28. That's it. Every time that you have even numbers at the end, you can simplify it by dividing by 2. Every single time. So your answer will be this. All right. I wanted to expose you to that one because the negatives. So the negatives are very important. You need to know how to work with those negatives. All right. The next one, what is it? 3 over 4. All right. This will work the same way. Nothing is really changing. Whenever you have fractions that have negatives, for example, the first fraction has a negative, I advise you to keep the negative on the numerator. So it's next to the 5, not in the middle or not on the 6. It's on the 5. Do we understand that? I'll show you why. It's very important if you keep it that way. So you multiply that, and it gives me 24. When I'm multiplying these, I'm actually carrying that negative with me. So it's negative 5 times 4. What do you get? Negative 24, right? I'm sorry, negative 20. JK. Man, you guys will crucify me. And then you move over that negative sign, and now you multiply these two, which is just 6 times 3, which is 18. And notice what happens. I have 20 boys and 18 girls. 18 boys. So I have a total of what? 38 boys, right? I have 20 boys in one room, and then I'm having 18 more boys. I end up with 38 boys total, and I have 30. What am I saying? 24 at the bottom. Then you simplify that to 15, 16. This would have been 19, right? Over 12? No, not 19. 15. Yeah. 19 over 12, right? 19 over 12, and I cannot simplify any longer. I think 19 is what is wrong with my memory today? It's a prime number. That's it, right? So that'll be the answer, right? Anything. What? It is negative 19 over 12. Oh, yeah. Hang on. You mean it's an improper fraction, right? Okay. So he goes in there once, and I have 7 over 12, right? The whole thing is negative. When you have a mixed number, don't put the negative on the small fraction. Put it in front of the whole thing. Are we all following? Is we good? All right, next one. I know. Look, somebody told me I had to talk kids language, so every once in a while I throw it in there. So apparently somebody can understand me. All right, what is it? All right, so I'm going to select the ones that are the same. Like the first one is positive, the second one is positive. This guy is negative, so I'm going to box it and not worry about it until I'm done with the other two, right? So that'll be 5 times, that's 40, right? And then this will give me 32. Move the plus sign, and then this gives me 10. So I end up with 42. 42 over 40, which gives me 21 over 20, which is 1 and 1. Wait, not yet. We ain't done yet. What? We're not done, right? We have a little box, a red box that tells us we need to come out. So we transfer this guy over here, and it's going to be negative 3 over 6, right? Are you following? Yes. So now we multiply that, and we get 60. Multiply this, and we get 60, 126. Multiply that, and we get 60. Ha! What is wrong with me? All right. Ugh. All right, there we go. So let me bring that over here so I can have more room. 126 minus 60 over 120. What do I get here? 66 over 120. And I can simplify that to 33 over 60. And then that to 11 over 20. And I don't think I can simplify any longer. So my final answer. And it looks like a lot of work, and it is a lot of work. I bet if you put that in the calculator the way it is, put in parentheses, like 4 divided by 5 plus 3 divided by 2 divided by 8 minus 3 divided by 6, and press enter, you get the same answer. Why don't you try it? Huh? Yeah. No, it's minus. The whole. Yeah. I don't care how you do it. Oh, it was 2. It's 2 over 8, not 3 over 8. Sorry, I messed this up. It's um, Candy, if your way to you is easier, use your way. I'm just giving you different ways of doing it. That way you have a lot of tools in your toolbox, and you can use whatever one you like the most. There's some things that teachers prefer for you to use, but in my case, when I was a kid, there were things that I liked my way, and they were faster for me, so I would use those. They would get mad, but they're not the ones doing the test. It's me, right? So I tell you the same thing. If for you, one particular method is good and it's also accurate, meaning they give you the exact answer, then use that one. All right. Next one. Oh, good. Let me pull. All right, guys, I'm going to give you a problem, and I need you guys to do it on your own individually. Now that you know what to do with the fractions, then you should be able to solve these problems quite easily. So here's the first one. 1 over 7 k minus 6 equals 3 over 7 k plus 4. Go ahead and do that on your own, and I'll give you a couple of minutes to finish it. Do not get the information from anybody else. Those of you watching the video, including those of you here in the class, when you watch this video, try it again on your own. Pause the video when you're done, play it again. Yes. You can do that. Yes, you can. If you're at home having I'm pretty sure first period is not having any kind of difficulties with these, but so, for those of you who forgot how to do this because you left half your brain at home, up, up, up. So, yeah. All right, so here it goes. For those of you who forgot, put a little I-O on top and a line right there. And that reminds me, I have to do inverse operation. I want all my variables on the left, and I want nothing around my variables. So the first thing it says to combine variables, how do I get this guy to the other side? Look, the little I-O. It says I-O, inverse operation. I must do inverse operation then. Yes. You do that, and then that goes away. But I'm going to do it on the side to show you how to do it. It's 1 over 7 minus 3 over 7. Here's a little thing that I want you all to understand. When you're adding or subtracting, and the denominators are the same, all you have to do is subtract or add, whatever it is. In other words, these numbers, because they're the same, they just move forward. And this ends up being 7. What is 1 minus 3? Negative 2. So you get negative 2 over 7k minus 6, and you bring down the 4 from the other side. Are you following?
Yes. Wait, so why wouldn't it be k plus 4?
What?
On this side. Because you put you brought the variable to the other side.
No, listen. When we didn't move just the fraction. We moved the whole thing. We have 3/7 of a k. That's what we have. Are we following?
Yes.
Yes. You cannot. Well, what are you talking about? 4 came from here. We'll see.
Oh, I know how to do that.
Let me show you. You should have learned this last year, but what is this minus 4? How do you subtract that? Put it over 1. I'm going to keep going because I'm getting worried. Right? You don't know how to do this stuff. All right, so now we subtract 6 from, add 6 to both sides, right? We add or subtract. This goes away, and then negative 2 over 7k comes down, and that equals to 10, right? Now, what do? We divide by negative 2 over 7. Careful. Somebody might get confused here. I don't care. We're doing this to get rid of it, so that goes away. Kayla looks so kind of confused. So now that you do that, only the k comes down, but you have to divide this whole thing by negative 2 over 7. This is where the outside over inside makes more sense. How do I turn that whole number into a fraction? Put it over 1. So look what I do. That's it. It is. So yeah, multiply the outsides, and that gives me 70. Multiply the insides, and I get negative 2, right? Simplify that. So 7 divided by negative 2, negative 35. So that means k equals negative 35, and that is my final answer. Hang on. Taylor, go ahead.
So, you know how we did the number from this side and then something.
Yeah.
Why did you put the 6 this side?
Because we don't want it on this. We want the variable alone. We don't want k plus anything. We want just k alone, like it's right here. It's like if it was x. Would you want x plus something equals the answer? No. You want to get rid of whatever is surrounding the variable. Yes. On the other side? You can't. What I'm trying to say, Kayla, is that when we get to inequalities, they're not presented that way. They're presenting in this format. So x is greater than or equals to 5. X is less than or equals to 2. And you cannot flip those like that. Because whenever you flip an inequality, the sign has to flip. And we haven't taught you that yet, so I don't want you to just take it from me. This is going to be helpful. Keep it that way. Yes. No. Yes. Outside or inside. Or you can do the keep change flip. You will keep the 10, change that, and it'll flip 7 over negative 2. And it'll still work. It'll be 70 over negative 2, which is the same thing as that, right? It doesn't matter how you do it. Yes. I'm dividing these two. So I multiply 10 by 7, I get 70. I multiply 2 times 1, negative 2, and I get negative 2. And then I divide it. That's an improper fraction. Yeah. And I divide 70 by negative 2, and I get negative 35. Ayana. It is negative, negative 35. You're what? Why? That's only when you're adding or subtracting. Boy, girl. This is multiplication and division, which is right there. The reason why we don't want you to turn things into decimals, Alyssa, is because the concept is not about decimals, it's about fractions. You need to understand the fractions. Trust me, you probably think like, well, I'm not going to use this again, but probably not, depending on your field. But this is what you're going to be tested on. So I can't just say, well, just turn them all into decimals. Who cares? And then you have all these fractions, you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Careful. We have one more actually, and if you guys weren't so lost all the time, one more time. I'm just kidding. I love you all. All right. Yes, I can. You do it all the time. All right, so here it goes. 5 over 6 y. No. Oh, darn it, I forgot the homework. That doesn't mean I was not going to give you homework. That just means that I put it in the video. You're still going to get the homework. Because I told my first period they're going to get homework. No, I wouldn't. I'll be here late. All right, so let's do that one together because we don't have much time. But let's work it out. Again, we want to combine the variables, right? We have to bring this, so make it positive half y to both sides, right? This goes away, and we end up with 5 over 6 plus half. That gives me 12. I get 10 plus 6, which is 16 over 12, right? Which is actually 8 over 6, or, yeah, just keep it that way. Don't turn it into a mixed number. So we get 8 over 6 y plus 1 equals 1/4. Hang on. You can. 4 over 3, right? No, it's right there. 4 over 3. You simplify it, right? This is important, guys. Watch this one. We have to subtract 1 from both, but you have a fraction right there. So your subtract is 1/4 minus 1 over 1, right? Because the whole number you put it over 1. So you end up with, it's not negative. It's the same thing. Negative and minus are the same thing. Ah, come on, pre-AP. Negative 3 over 4, right? So I get 4 third y equals negative 3 over 4. Now I have to divide by that, right? And this is where the outside over inside works perfectly. You go 4 over 3, right? There's 4 over 3, you divide by 4 over 3, right? Then move. So you multiply and you get negative 9. Multiply that, you get 16, right? When you simplify it, that's it. That's what you get. You can't simplify. So the answer will be that. I'm going to post the homework on a little picture. It'll be easier for you. What parents? Oh, yeah. All right. See you later, Gators.